Alright, so today we're going to be working on some Nerdz Bars. Um, they're not necessarily nerd ropes, but they're very similar. Um, this is what they end up coming out looking like. It's just like a nerd rope, but it's just a big slab of gummy. And I'm going to walk you guys through the process of how I make it. So this is it here. In there, this is my hand. They're about, I'd say, 2 inches wide by 4 to 5, maybe 4.5 inches. That's how big they are. So we're gonna work on making these today. I have in here just a bunch of nerds already laid out in a pan. In this, I'm going to add a bunch of gummies. Now, when I do this, I fill up this whole thing. I fill up this whole thing because these are going to melt down. So once they're melted down, it's only going to be about a half a cup full. So I know it may look like a lot, but believe me, it's not. It's about a 2-cup jar here. So now I'm going to stick this in the microwave for a minute, let it melt down, and I'll be right back. Okay, again, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Everything I use is always silicone. Silicone or glass because it's really easy to wash. So you see, that thing was full and it melted down to less than a cup. Now this is not done. I put it in there for a minute in the microwave. Most of them melted down, but what I do from here is now I'm going to add some more gummies, and not too much more because I need to add my infused oil, and I add actually 15,000 milligrams of infused oil, which should be making me 15 1,000 milligram bars, but I only make 12. So these are actually stronger than what they say they are, but who cares? The people that are looking to get to that level will get to that level. So what I'm going to do now is stick this in the microwave for another minute, and then add the oil to it, and I'll show you guys when I do that. I'll be right back. Okay, so you're going to see here that everything takes a lot of work. You see as I pull it up, you still see gummies in there. Not everything is melted. So if you stick it in the microwave too long, it will overflow. It'll burn. You'll just ruin it. So you don't want to stick it in there too long. You want to mix it. Once it gets to this point where it's hot, just mix it, because it will all melt. It will all melt together, and then the pieces that are big and not melted down, mixing it in with the rest of the hot gummy mix will help melt them down. So just mix, and then as you keep mixing, just keep doing this, and you'll keep seeing how smooth and runny it is. It just takes a lot of mixing. You will work your arms a lot. Your arms will get sore if you're not used to using your arms much. So just take your time and mix a lot. Put it down on something solid, so that this way you won't. And as you can see, look, this silicone thing, these silicone cups, I love them because they have these little things on the side that keep it from not burning my hand, because when I touch right here in the front where it's solid and doesn't have the little things where the measuring things are, these right here, these are like handles. It helps keep your fingers from burning, because this part right here, it's smooth, and when you put your hand here, it gets really hot and it can burn. So I just always hold on to the parts where it keeps it's still warm, but it won't burn your hands too much. So I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Here I've got 1 ounce. I'm not gonna really be able to see the measurement, but this is 1 ounce of infused oil, which contains 15,000 milligrams. What I'm going to do is pour it in here. Boom, just like that. Now, what I used to do, but I no longer do, I used to also add a oil, a fruit punch flavored oil, flavor enhancer, just to give it more flavor. But I don't use it anymore because I ran out of it, and the gummy mixture has enough flavor in it. So now when you start mixing this up, you need to be very careful, because the oil is very, you can see there that the oil is like still very runny, and is not mixed in with the gummy yet. So the oil will sit on top. It's going to take you a little while of mixing, maybe about a minute of mixing. Don't do it too hard, because it will splash. You will lose some. It will get on you. So just do it gently. Kind of fold through the gummy mix, kind of like if you're making a brownie mix, a pancake mix, anything else, cookie dough, any type of other mixtures that you may make. The same way you have to fold through it, the same way I do my cereal, the marshmallow mix. You have to fold and fold and fold. And after so much folding, you will see the oil start to incorporate with the gummy mix. You don't need to add anything else. No, you don't need any vegetable glycerin. Nothing to incorporate the oil with the gummy mix, because whatever the gummies already have in them, it mixes in the oil perfect. So you don't need to add anything else to this. It's very simple. Just melt the gummies and add your infused oil, and just do a lot of mixing. Make sure that oil gets incorporated well with all of the mixture, so that you don't have areas that are more oil than others. Once you start mixing and mixing and mixing for a while, it will all incorporate together. It won't be like, oh, there's certain little parts that have more than the other. No, it all mixes in together pretty well. But I do this for a few minutes. I just continue to mix. I scrape off the walls just to make sure that I'm getting every bit of gummy mix in there. See that? Let me pull it this way a little bit. See how it's all nice and thick and all gummy mix. So I keep doing this, and then I'm going to add more gummies until this gets full, because this whole thing filled up will be just enough for to fill up that entire pan there with gummy mixture. See if that's enough. Okay, this is where I need to be careful so I don't spill anything. Kind of just get those in there, those new gummies. Gotta get them down and in. And then I will microwave this for, from here, I only do 30 seconds at a time. I don't want to microwave it too long because it can get too hot and overflow in your microwave and you will make a big mess. I've done it before, so please believe me when I tell you, don't do no more than 30 seconds. I've tried to do a minute before and it overflowed. I made a big mess in there. You end up losing product. It just becomes a big mess. It's real sticky, real hard to get off. So just be patient. Take your time making this. It's really simple. It doesn't take long, but the little bit of time that it does take, just be patient. Do it right. I'm giving you guys a walkthrough of exactly how I make it. Mine's come out great. If you've tried them already, then you know, but if you haven't, and you try this for yourself, you will see how easy it is. It does take work, but for what you get in the end, it's very much worth it. I'll be right back. I'm going to stick this in the microwave for another 30 seconds, get it a little hotter. I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to walk you guys through this. The microwave is beeping because the gummies are done. Pulling them out the microwave. Bring this over here. I'm going to shake this up. Stir this up just a little bit more. Boom, 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 boom. And we're going to start this is why I like silicone, because it doesn't burn your hands and it's also easy to fold, so it's easy to pour. And just start pouring. I like to get all the edges first, make sure everything is solid, and then I just pour all across the middle. Scrape all the sides with this. Scrape the whole inside of this. Get everything I can out of there. And this does get real sticky. It does get hard pretty quick, so you got to do this pretty quickly. And you can see right here, I missed the spot, but I do take this and what I do from here is I take this whole pan and I kind of go like this just to get everything kind of situated. Then I take my Nerdz. It. I shake them up, make sure they get all over. The whole thing is covered. I push down, make sure they're all down. And then that's it. Now, the hard part is waiting for this to finish. You can stick it in the freezer. I usually do that, or you can stick it in the fridge. I stick it in the freezer for at least an hour. Then I take it out of the freezer after an hour, and I will come back to show you guys what it looks like and how I do that in an hour. Alright, so we're back at it, guys. Now, in order to do this, I use this little silicone spatula. I like it because it's really thin and flexible. So what I do is I start off on the edges and I get down into the sides, and I just kind of separate it from the pan. And I do it all the way around. And this isn't something you necessarily have to do. This is just how I do it, just because I like for it to stay the same size. I've done it before where I use my fingers and I just kind of start picking at it from the corner and I bring it all up, but then it kind of gets deformed because it is gummy, so it does change shape if you push on it hard enough. So once I've got it out enough, careful because there's going to be little nerds that fall around everywhere. I flip it over, and then again I do it, and it just pops right out. Boom, done. Set this to the side. Now, this right here, my scraper that I use for the when I make my gummies, this is 6 inches. I don't know if you can see there, but it's got little measurements on there. See that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. This is 6 inches long. So this right here, from here to here, is about 9 inches. So 4.5 inches. I use this to measure 4.5 inches. This is about right here. And then I just start cutting across. So I'll cut it into 2, cut it in half, cut it all the way across. And I was busy, guys. I was busy doing personal stuff earlier. So I did take this out of the freezer an hour later, and I let it sit out for a couple hours before I did this. So it's a lot softer now than it was earlier when it was straight out of the freezer. But it did get hard enough to stay solid. And it's a little easier to cut now. So now, now that I've cut it in half, this right here is about 12 inches. This is 12 inches from here to here. So what I do is I make 6. There's 6 and 6. I get 6 pieces here, 6 pieces here. I get 12. I do 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches. So every one of these will be 2 inches. Every one of these will be 2 inches. And then it'll be about 2 by 4.5 inches. And that'll be 1 bar. Again, I use this right here to measure. And so I'll say right there, that's about 2 inches. Make a quick cut just so I know where my line is. And now I'll finish cutting it all, but I won't be recording everything. But this is what it looks like in the end. Oops. So one side is still like very gummy. I don't know if you can really see because that's where I poured the gummy. So one side is still, you could feel the gummy. The other side is like all nerds on top. So it's not like completely covered in gummies, but this is what it looks like. Pretty thick, about the thickness of my finger. Pretty thick Nerdz bar. So this is it. Then I put it in a bag. Let me take my glove off real quick. I'll put some new ones on just so I can show you guys. I already put stickers on these bags. Throw it in this bag and seal it up, and it's done. Got Nerdz Bars. And that's all, guys. That's the whole beginning to end process of making my Nerdz Bars. You guys got any questions? Drop them in the comments. Like, subscribe. Make sure you guys are subscribed. If you're watching this, you should already be subscribed. Make sure you like it. Please, if you watch this through the end to see the entire thing, please just give me a like. Even share it. Share it to any of your social medias. Whatever you can share it to, your Facebook. I don't care, man. Whatever you got, share it. Thank you, guys. See you guys on the next one. Stay pushing for that buena vida.